Alright guys, we're live with the first episode of the multiplayer Hearts of Iron 4 game that we're going to be playing here. Obviously none of these are going to be showing until after the game is complete, but we've got 6 players, 6 multiplayer players involved in this, and you can see them all here. Gendesi's playing as Finland, ASR 37 as Japan, Robert Roberts as the United States, Jewish Cowboy, who is a buddy of ASR's, is playing as China, and Herr Rommel, fittingly, as Germany. So I'm giving everybody a few minutes to kind of get started. This is my first time hosting a multiplayer game, so this is all very new to me. And I have also never played a full game as the USSR, so also something that's very new to me. I'm going to spam a lot of infantry units to start, so that's kind of the direction I'll be going for at least a little while. And I'll do just like I do with any Hearts of Iron game. I'll kind of drop in and out as conditions warrant. So there's really not much else to show at the moment. Alright, so we're getting going here, and I'm still in the process of getting all my armies organized. There's so many divisions for the Soviets. There's a lot to keep track of. My main thing right now is I'm just kind of thinking through strategies moving forward, and I believe that for the most part I want to try and stay on the good side of everyone, especially Germany though, because I know I've got 2 guys that are buddies in Japan and China that may gang up on me in the East, and of course being the YouTuber who's hosting this game, obviously I feel like maybe I'm a target because we have the US, Finland, Germany, China, and Japan are the other countries that are involved in this game. So I'm certainly concerned about the possibility that I become a target in all of this. And if that happens, so be it. I understand. That's the reality sometimes. But not a lot going on at the moment. It's going to take quite a while before any of my research becomes ready. Right now I'm working on Stalin Constitution. I want to build up a bunch of political power really early on to give myself the best kind of step in the right direction. And of course I'm mostly working on infantry divisions to start, but it's going to take a while to get enough factories in place. I just don't have that many factories to start this game. I've only got 36 military factories, 6 naval dockyards, so I've got a lot of building up to do in that department. So we're into March now, and of course, obviously the game, I'm simming a little slower just because we have multiplayer and people can't pause as they wish. So just coming up now on my first completion of a national focus. And I noticed that Germany, on his national focus, seems to be focusing on a tree that's going to allow him to push for an alliance with the Soviets, which I'm totally fine with if we go down that road. Now that I've completed Stalin Constitution, I'm going to go with 5-year plan over here. I really need to start building up my economy and my ability to pump out divisions. My goal is by the time we hit 1939, 1940, I want to hopefully have several hundred infantry divisions in place. Right now, my entire military, let's take a look and see what I've got available to me. Somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's see, 120, 138 divisions. So I want to get that at least up over 300, if not closer to 400 by the time that comes. The other thing I'm going to do right off the bat here, now that I've got the political points, is switch over to war economy. That obviously is going to free up, hopefully, a lot more factories for me, free up a lot more in terms of trade. We'll see how that benefits me moving forward. Yeah, it definitely freed up, gave me some more civilian factories, so I can produce things a lot better. Well then, Finland refused my non-aggression pact. That's interesting. So it seems like maybe Finland and Germany are planning on ganging up on me. I don't know if that's the plan. But obviously I'm going to have to keep that in mind if that's what he's planning. But it's, Germany right now, Herr Rommel, is working on his national focus treaty with the USSR. So I mean, I have to at least think that part of me says he's not planning on going that route. So I don't know. I guess they're just all keeping their options open, which makes total sense. I want to see what Japan's up to for just a minute here. He's also got a... So basically everybody's got a non-aggression pact with Finland. China, of course, I have no doubt whatsoever that China and Japan are going to be on the same side. So I feel like maybe it's me against the world. I may have to talk to Robert over here about a non-aggression pact. Make sure I don't go to war with him too. We'll see if he accepts that. He's been quiet in the chat. We haven't seen him yet. Everybody else has been pretty active. So he's taking U.S. isolationism to the next level, I'm afraid. We've got a few things I can do here. Improve worker conditions, stuff like that. But right now I want to save up those political PowerPoints for other things that I need to do. My plan for my next thing is going to be Captain of Industry. Once I get the political power to do that. Alright, so while we're on a quick pause here, I've finished the 5-year plan. I've gone into armament effort. So we're continuing to focus on getting more building slots, more military factories. I'm going to get this extra research slot, which will be huge. And then we'll kind of look elsewhere. In the meantime, I do have now non-aggression pacts with Japan and the United States. And I have an actual treaty currently with Herr Rommel, or at least once he actually accepts it, it gave me that option. So we'll see what happens with all of this as we move forward. All right, so I've completed some research, and we're going to continue down this path of kind of trying to build up my economy a little bit, but I also want to start working on land doctrine. And in my case, it's obviously mass assault doctrine is the way to go. In the meantime, Finland's going fascist. He's making no secret about that, so the Germans are obviously going to have a supporter there. The UK and France being what they are, which is basically staying out of things and not being controlled by a human player, give me some possibilities here. So I'm going to try to improve relations with them a little bit. See if I can at least get a non-aggression pact going. But obviously, I'll have some support in the UK and France if Germany decides to get crazy and go to war. But I also have to understand that most of the actual human players may not be on my side in this. So I may be fighting against all of them, which makes it pretty difficult, especially as a country I've never played before. All right, we're into September of 1936, and Germany is justifying a war against Poland. So things are about to get interesting. So I've gone ahead and started justifying my own war against Turkey. So we're going to go in there and try to control most of the area around the Black Sea. Next, I'll be looking at Romania. But we'll see what happens. I want to try and stay on good terms with Finland as much as possible. I think he's a little nervous about what I might do, but he's allying himself smartly with Germany. He's leaning towards fascism because obviously on his own he probably can't withstand against me. But I have no intentions of going to war there, but I also have no intentions of leaving that unprotected either, especially since I know there are German troops in Finland. So we'll see what happens with all of this. It's going to be quite interesting. There's my collectivist propaganda. So now we're going to unlock this extra research slot. And I definitely need to get more troops down here for the eventual invasion of Turkey, which, of course, isn't going to happen until May 1937. So it's going to happen right about the same time that the invasion of Poland will be able to go off. In fact, they're just a day apart. So that's when the world's going to blow up for sure. I'm not sure whether or not we're going to get to that today or not. It looks like we might. We're going to be pretty close, I think. Alright, so there's Concentrated Industry 1. And I'm going to keep focusing on that and do it again. I'm going to be unlocking a new research slot here in about 20 days. Other than that, not a lot happening at the moment. I'm starting to build up my forces down here on the Turkish border. I definitely don't have enough yet. So it's going to definitely be something I need to continue to build up. Alright, so we're into December now, and the guys are talking me into the idea that I may, rather than waiting until the entire multiplayer series is done, that I may just upload these a week or so after. So what we can do is next week after we play the next episode, which will be episode 2, then I'll upload episode 1. So it'll be behind enough that it won't give too much away as far as what I'm doing. So I think that might be a fair option to go with. Right now I need to start speeding up the speed at which I produce new divisions. The game keeps pausing for some reason, so I'm going to take a look at why that's happening. Alright, there's my extra research slot. So that gives us a couple options here. Next thing we're going to do is, where are we going? Actually, it should have been going down progress cult, but it didn't quite happen that way. Alright, let's go ahead and purge. The 5th column. Alright, that's not a big deal for me right now. Battlefield support doctrine. We're almost into 1937. No Soviets in Spain. I've got other fish to fry right now. It didn't give me an option for that, and I'm not necessarily all that inclined to deal with it. We'll let Spain do what it wants to. France is 52% communist. Let's help that out, shall we? 52% communist, 47% democratic, and now we're going to give them a little boost. How's that? We'll also improve relations. We've got free military factories, so I'm up to 56 military factories and 6 naval dockyards now. Obviously, trade becoming an issue. I'm trading a little bit with the German Reich. I don't mind helping them out in that way a little bit. We're about to hit 1937. Okay, so we're into late January 1937 now. We're having some issues with a couple of folks lagging behind. So it's kind of affecting gameplay a little bit. We're going to press ahead as best we can. I desperately need to get... It seems like maybe I don't have quite enough to get the job done right now on the border with Turkey. So I'm kind of switching up a little bit of how I do this. I'm giving each of my armies a shorter front line. So we're going to have a kind of a left, right, and center to this. And we're going to see if that makes it a little more likely that I'm going to succeed. And then we're going to give them all orders as far as how far they're going to advance. And then I've got to add some more divisions to this one army here. We're about 3 months away from being able to declare that war. And of course, that also is when Germany will be ready to declare war. Oh, Finland has joined the Axis officially. We knew that was coming. Just didn't know when. I'm not involving myself in the Spanish Civil War at all. But I am trying to influence things in France, where the Communist Party has a slight advantage. It's up to 52.72%, and I'm trying to influence that the best I can. So maybe we get communism to take hold over there. That would be a huge, huge deal for me if I was able to make that happen. So we've got to add some more divisions here. It keeps dropping back down 2-speed. I'm going to queue up more at once, and we're going to go ahead and rush these guys into the field and add all of those divisions to this army. Not sure why they're not moving though. Oh, we've got a supply issue. So once they can move, they will. All right, so a decision to make here: the trial of anti-Soviet Soviet Trotskyist Center. Couple of different options available to me here. This will lead to a civil war in the future. This one will give me 15% stability. That's definitely the way we go here. World tension is affecting my war support, which is at 84%. That's good. Stability is only at 63%, but that's going to disappear when I do my purge, which is coming very, very soon. It's going to be at 210 days, so it takes a while. And that hurts things for a while, but it's definitely something I need to do. All right, we're getting to about 2 months away from being able to go to war. I feel like I'm starting to get enough troops. I've got 72 divisions now down here. That's got to be enough to deal with Turkey, I would think. Overall, I've got, let's see, about 90, 105, almost 200 divisions now. I want to be at about 300 by the time we get into 1938. And then once I've gotten over 300, then I'll start thinking about actually upgrading my divisions and not just being about a ton of manpower. Because early on, as the Soviets, I just feel like that's kind of what I have to do, is just spam as many divisions as possible early on, and then kind of go from there. All right, a couple of research slots have just opened up. We're going to continue land doctrine research. But now let's go back to engineering a little bit. Nah, maybe not. All right. We got to get our infantry divisions upgraded a little bit. My manpower's starting to get low. I'm down to about 700,000. And I also had a supply issue with getting more troops down here on this border. So there's attrition going on. It's not a great place to attack from. So I'm running into some issues with that. So we'll see what happens when the actual war starts. All right, secret trial of the generals. Once again, a lot of different options here. This is all part of the purge. That we're getting closer and closer to. We're still about 90 days away from the purge itself. And we're just about a month away from being able to declare war, and it's going to be interesting to see if Germany goes ahead and do that. Herr Rommel, I assume that he will invade as soon as he is able to. May 12th is the big day for him. May 13th is a big day for me. I did go ahead and make a change to my conscription law that's going to allow me to start building up more manpower. I don't want to get in a situation where I get low, especially because I have so many infantry divisions. And you can see here I've got a bunch more that I can go ahead and get ready to go. They're really just training is the issue for them. I can rush them into the field anytime I'm ready. And I'll go ahead and do that with some of these. I'm going to assign those ones over to the Central Theater. I need to start putting a few divisions over in the east, though, because I'm a little concerned about my lack of manpower out there right now. All right, there's formation flying. So I've got another available. I'm going to continue a thread on air doctrine for now. And yeah, we're just having a discussion about the fact that for the most part, wars aren't going to happen in this first episode. I think we might get into it a little bit, but since everybody is probably going to be in a better position for sim speed and their systems handling things next week, it's probably good that for the most part we won't get into a major world war here in the first episode. We are up to May of 1937, though, so this is my first time ever hosting a multiplayer game. It's been a lot of fun so far. I know most of these guys. They've been a part of the channel for a while now, so it's pretty cool to be able to do this. And we'll definitely keep doing this. Even when this one's complete, we'll continue to do multiplayer games. I think it's a great aspect of being able to interact with all the folks out there. Okay, so Germany at war with Poland. So it begins. Poland has joined the Allies. Oops. In the meantime, Greater Finland is justifying against me. So that's rather interesting. And I'm thinking that maybe I quickly take Turkey and then we'll deal with Poland. Or then we'll deal with Finland. Oh, France is guaranteeing Turkey. You know what? Not gonna do it. And here's why. Because I'm trying to get France to become communist, which they're up to 60% now. So I'd very much like to get them on my side. So I'm not gonna go to war, especially since he's justifying against me now. So I think we'll go ahead and move back to a posture of defense against Finland. What's up, buddy?
Can I turn on the Xbox?
Soon. Tell Caleb he's got about a half hour and then it's your turn.
Okay,
Tell him at 11:15 it's your turn.
so,
Okay?
I'm gonna send Dominic a message of my account. So
Okay.
he knows what to type in to add me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what it is. It's DOM2656.
Nice.
But no M. Mine is
What?
What time do I get it?
What?
What time do I get it?
At 11:15.